So you might be able to tell from the bird song in the background, I'm over the woods. The dog's with me, and I've been over to see the shelter that may or may not have been built by me. I have noticed that it's now been pulled down, and whatever they're going to do over there, it's already started. So I've seen quite a few trees have been cut down. It's such a shame. I've been coming here for 20-25 years. It's such a nice secluded place, but I don't know. I suppose I could be like a hippie protester or something and tie myself to a tree, but the government wills it, I suppose. So, but yeah, I might have to. I wish I could, purchase the land myself. That'd be great, just under my protection. But I have looked, and apparently there's the people who own the land. They're not interested in accepting any offers. But oh well. I mean, legally, I have tried. It's not that I haven't done anything. I have tried, but the government's going to do what it's going to do, I suppose. I would love to have my own property and have my own land, just to keep it under my protection. I would build some kind of simple dwelling, small wooden hut, out of the way, like that would be nice. But yeah, the inheritance from my grandmother is being finalised. Finally, because it's been ages. But hopefully, well, we'll see what I can do with it. But I've already spoken to my brothers about what they want to do, and so by the sounds of it, my brothers want to move away to a city. They want to move in together, and they just never spoke to me about it, because I said, why don't we buy some property out in the countryside? Well, it could be like a family home of ours, the three of us. But they're not interested at all, and they didn't bother including me. And I just said, well, why didn't you ask me as well? And they said, well, we know what the answer is going to be, because you don't like going anywhere, you don't like leaving the area. So, well, I don't like towns and cities. I mean, I would never move to a town or a city. But if a nice rural area, and if there was like some land with a cottage on it, that would be perfect. That would be perfect. But yeah, they're basically like, there's nothing going on here. There's nothing going on here. There's no work. There's nothing, and I understand. I get it. So that's why they're moving towards a city. So they're going to do what they're going to do, I suppose. I'll be here. I'll be even more isolated, I suppose. I'll be even more isolated, but yeah, oh well. I'll see what I can do with my share of the money then. Probably not much. But I'm still interested in creating some kind of Anglo-Saxon, like revival folk movement or something. having some kind of community to belong to, where we can sort of be ourselves, and a community is extremely important. You know, we want to bring men and women together like how it used to be, and you know, and also us connected through a shared history and heritage. That would be good. I suppose it's also part of the idea of why I want to have my own land. Create a community and bring people to the land to I don't know. Yeah, we could have we dress up in old Anglo-Saxon clothes like tunics and those old clothes. I have my own clothes myself, and a tunic. Not because I go to any LARPing events. I don't do things like that, but I don't know. I just like that sort of thing and just do it on my own. I'm not a part of any communities myself, as in like LARP events and stuff, but I would much prefer to create my own community. Bring the folk together, create a community and bring the folk together, and revive the past, and just sort of be ourselves and disconnect from modern society. The Industrial Revolution was the beginning of our spiritual decline. We should always be connected to nature, but we were beginning to lose that connection. But then the 20th century, certain events that happened throughout the 20th century where we have fought and destroyed ourselves, really. The Germanic race has really lost its way in the 20th century, and even now the decline still continues, maybe manipulated by certain outside influences, but the Germanic race is quite clearly heavily diminished from how great we once were. And we spent 2 world wars just fighting each other, really, and bring down our dominance over planet Earth, so that they could keep us docile, because they know exactly what we're capable of. So I think it's best to just separate ourselves from our declining society and just create a new one, a new community, and just some sort of Anglo-Saxon folk revival movement, so we could show the world that we still persist. But I don't know, it's obviously not of our doing, it's obviously of external influences that's caused our decline. The insertion of certain ideological rot to undermine our civilization and our people. And firstly, we must identify ourselves and make it clear about who we are and what it means to be English and what it means to be a member of the Germanic race. And then take away the Nationality Act of 1948, make it a clear thing that you're either native to this land or you're not native to this land. It is that black and white. It really is. But we live in a time where there is no common sense. Tensions are very high in the West, it seems. We had some riots in Paris, and then the racial conflict that has now risen up in California because of the large Mexican population there. and the yes, and riots taking place now in Northern Ireland, and it is based on racial and ethnic lines and religious lines. All that society needs is a little push, right? What I believe is that we should all be preparing accordingly. Because there will be some sort of uprising, the decline of birth rates, especially in the native population. There's no unity, there's no community. There is land and property being taken by invaders. We live in a society with no honour, no tradition. Certain individuals have made sure that we are derouted from this land. But just have to remember who we really are. There are miserable, defeated people who are being pushed to breaking point. People who want their homeland back. And I would say, prepare accordingly. If you have a community to belong to, we might stand a chance united than on our own. I wish you all the best in the wars to come. I'll see if I can create this movement. I would prefer to meet people in person, so I'll probably try and see if I could go to the local library and set up posters. Try and bring people together, try and bring people to me. Who knows? Let's see what happens. There's also a pagan community that I'm familiar with. I'm going to go to them and see who I can meet, or meet certain individuals to see who would be particularly interested in my plan, my idea. But usually at these pagan communities, they usually draw out the liberal, far left, weirdo type. But hopefully we'll see if I could find certain individuals who are sort of on the same level of thinking as I am. Who knows? I'll see what I can do. I am also currently working on a sort of a history video. I've had it planned for quite a while now, for several months. Most of the script is complete, and eventually I'll start recording. It's about the history of our people. It's about the gods. I talk about the pagan gods. I talk about who we are, our physical characteristics, our history, and why we should reconnect ourselves to the past and to the natural world. But that's the plan anyway. I don't imagine it'll be out for quite a while, several months I think. I just want to make sure I get it all right. It's going to take a lot of editing as well, so it won't be out for several months, but that's something I'm currently working on. Anyway, goodbye for now.